Morning, football people. Good morning. It's Saturday. You know what it is. It's your boy, Uncle Fred. Look who I got with me hanging out in the cut. That's my main man, TK. TK, you doing good today, man?
Absolutely, man. The games ahead. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Cool, man. Well, you know what it is. It's our weekly pick'em show. We down to the divisional rounds. Boy, I had some egg on my face last week. Had my feelings hurt, my hopes and dreams crushed. That's why they play the games. We got four good games for you this weekend, two today, two tomorrow. And we're going to talk about them. We're going to give you our expert analysis on these games and let you know who you should put. No, don't put your money on them, but put your rooting interest behind. Put your money in your pocket, all right? But anyway, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Hang with it. TK, Uncle Fred, Pick'em Show. Back in a minute.
Two times on the
Again, it's your boy, Uncle Fred and TK once again. Back in the saddle, back in the house with these picks. And we just gonna go on and knock these things out, man. Please, if you're watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Promise you, you will not be disappointed. So, okay, we got two games on Saturday. Last week was super wild card weekend. They had to put that on there. And you got the, I don't know, it just became super. I don't know why it was super. That's just what they called it. So I guess this is super divisional round. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you know how they package all this stuff so that they make it, whatever. So they get to pique your interest to make you like, oh my gosh, I can't miss this. Yeah, okay, whatever, man. Whatever. Somebody got a big, probably 7-figure bonus for putting that super on the end of that, but whatever. So anyway, man, we got a couple of games today, and we're gonna go and talk about these two games and get these out the way. Let me go and pull my captions up here, and then boom, there we go, right here. And so the first game we're gonna talk about today, TK, is the it's gonna take place at 3:30 today on ABC / ESPN. That's all part of that Disney package. It's going to be the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore favored by 9.5. So first of all, and I'm just going to talk, and I'm going to let you talk, because I know you got a rooting interest with Baltimore, and I like Baltimore too, man. And I think that they got a nice mixture of how they like to play now, in terms of like they got enough weapons where Lamar does not have to tuck it and run as much as he used to. And we kind of teased us a little bit because they was telling us that Mark Andrews is going to be back, but I guess he had a setback, so he's not going to play now. Which I was kind of hoping, because I was going to see what that double tight end setup with him and Likely was going to look like. That would have been nice, because Likely has been very he's been I didn't know he was that good. That kid good, man. That guy can play, man. So that's a thing they can look forward to next year. Is that, hey, can they pull some nice 12 personnel packages with those two dudes? But anyway, so you got Baltimore. The only thing that gives me just a little bit of pause with the Baltimore Ravens is that they will essentially have like two weeks off, having not played. And a lot of times when you're kind of like a rhythm offense, you kind of don't like to go like 2 weeks or whatever without playing. It's sort of like it's uh, a snag in your routine and everything. So I don't know. I'm hoping that doesn't mess with them. So they're playing the Houston Texans, and they're the darlings of the playoffs so far to me. C.J. Stroud is playing like a rookie is not supposed to play. It's like I don't know that I'm supposed to struggle in these playoffs. What the heck you mean I'm supposed to struggle? Uh, what you mean? I'm doing the same thing I'm doing the regular season. I'm getting into my good plays. I'm finding my guys. I'm finding Nico Collins. I'm finding Dalton Schultz, one of our cast-offs. I'm finding all these guys, and I'm running it with Singletary. I mean, they've got a nice thing going. Um, I mean, they are surprising some folks. And but I kind of think the buck stops today. It's been a nice story. Um, the coaching staff. Yeah, I can't think of the coach's name. You know me and names. Uh, what's his name? TK, the coach.
D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans, yeah, there was. It was coming to me as you was talking. D'Amico Ryans and the offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. They've been putting there. Bobby Slowick's been on the docket for a lot of coaching vacancies too. He's done so well this year. Got a rookie quarterback throwing for over 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. Putting him in good positions. Like I said, a rookie quarterback is supposed to have a struggle moment, and he has not had one for the most part this season. So I look for Houston probably to score maybe early, but I look for Baltimore to catch their stride maybe midway through the first quarter, maybe into the second quarter, seize control of the game by halftime, and win by a touchdown or so. I got Baltimore winning, but I think it's going to be dicey early because I think Houston is hot right now. They're in a groove, and I look for them to follow that. But I look for Baltimore to kind of like figure out there's a reason why they're, what are they, 13-4 or 14-3 or whatever they were. Best defense in the NFL, in my opinion. Good linebacker core with Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. And I just think that they by midway through the second quarter they're going to figure out what's going on and shut everything down. And I got Baltimore, man. I got Baltimore. What say you?
I definitely got Baltimore, of course. To your point, I like everything about what the Texans have going on. From top to bottom, man, I just think they're doing a great job over there building that team up. So CJ Stroud being a gamer just makes that whole franchise have so much upside going forward. They're gonna have a rough day today, though. They're running into the most complete team in the AFC for sure, but possibly the entire league. And that defense is healthy, rested, and I know we always talk about the rest component when guys get a couple of weeks off, but
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud going to the bank today. I don't see him cashing out, man. I don't see him cashing out. So good season for the Texans, man. Geno Stone and Hump on the outside over there. Hamilton's in the back, playing safety in their backfield defensively.
Best safety in the NFL, in my opinion.
They just from top to bottom, man, at every level of their defense, they wreak havoc. Um, Roquan is gonna control the middle of the field and lead that defense. And I think the promise that CJ Stroud has, I'll say this. I love the offensive line, the O line for Houston. So if they can keep him upright, I do think he's able to make some plays here today. It's just that when it comes down to can you turn those into touchdowns against that defense,
Yeah.
I'm a little I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I honestly would not be shocked if CJ Stroud, as far as throw for throw, like bar for bar, play for play, if he's right there on par with Lamar's production. But will it translate into touchdowns and a win ultimately? I don't think so. But CJ Stroud makes a couple plays today that lets us know what we already are coming to the conclusion. He's special and he's going to be here. He's here to stay. And Houston, they're well on their way. But I got Baltimore all the way today. MVP, Action Jackson,
Yeah, yeah.
Baltimore.
I think it's going to come down to. Um, I just think Baltimore's team is just better than theirs, and like you said, as you was making your analogy there with, you know, it might even be that Stroud can match Lamar's throw for throw, but is his defense as good as Miko Rounds has coached that defense? Will Anderson is playing phenomenal this year, and some of their other defensive players. But are they as sound defensively as Baltimore? I would say no. Um, offensive line wise, are they as good as Baltimore? Ronnie Stanley is one of the best left tackles in the game. They got a good offensive line as well. So it's layers to this thing. And then here's another caveat. Now the weather's going to be kind of iffy because there was a winter storm thing that hit the DMV area, I think yesterday, and there's snow and some other stuff that wasn't there like a few days ago. They were kind of spared from all the stuff that the rest of the country is kind of going through, that we actually going through here in the South. But they kind of had missed that. But I think whatever it is has hit them. So that's going to be a factor. The Houston being an indoor team, playing on that nice, clean turf at climate control 72 degrees. All of those are factors, in this whole thing. So, and like I said, Houston is a great story. And man, wouldn't it be a great story if they could go into is it TA Bank Stadium? I think isn't that what that stadium's called? I can't think what it's called. Wouldn't that be something they could go in there and upset them? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be a nice feather in D'Amico Ron's and CJ Stroud's cap? That would be a nice feather in their cap. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case. And I just think Baltimore just has just a little too much at every position, and you know. But I
Yeah,
think they make it interesting. They make it interesting.
I agree, man. I think Nick Casario, D'Amico, you guys, if they're able to, retain, slow it, you guys, man, you go into that off season telling yourself, like, look, man, we got 4 more years of this guy on his rookie scale. We're going all in, man. We're gonna go get as much talent as possible because this guy's ready right now.
That's how you do it, man. That's
Yeah.
exactly how you do it. You get a special quarterback on a rookie scale before you have to pay him. You got 3 years before you got to pay him. Boy, just load up this thing. Load up the O line. Load up the weapons. Load up with, I mean, they may need a couple extra players on defense. Load that stuff up, man. Where you get you a good chance where you can, you can, some solidify and yourself, yeah, they special right now, man. So I'm they may be the new team in Texas, man, for us all over with, man. Who knows? They may be, because it's all about what you're doing right now, man. It's not about nostalgia, not about the nostalgia. So we both got the Buccaneers. We both got the Ravens, and hey, man, that's gonna be a good game. All right, man.
I'd like to see Stingley Jr. matched up with Odell a couple times, man. At LSU.
LSU connection.
Yeah,
That's a good point, man.
I
Very good point.
put in there,
Very
man.
good point.
Yeah,
Derek Stingley. I don't call him Derek. It's Derek, right? It's Derek, right?
Derek Stingley
Yeah,
Jr.
Daryl is his great uncle or whatever. Used to play back in the day. But yeah, LSU guys. Yeah, that's gonna be a good matchup. He's one of your better young corners in the league too.
Oh man, he
And
shut Coop's water off last week, man.
yeah,
Yeah, he did.
which I didn't think anybody could do. But that was a game too that I was like surprised. And that's when I started having my eyes open with this Houston team, because Cleveland too had one of those defenses, and they gave up like, if you take away the two pick sixes, they still scored 28 points. And they was just going up and down the field on them. So I'm like, a young quarterback against this seasoned defense with all that defensive talent and schemes and stuff. That's why I started thinking, man, this kid is special, and that offensive scheme is special. And I think that's when Bobby Slowick started to get to all these. Yeah, you said something just a minute ago, whether or not if they're able to retain him. That dude been getting coaching offers left and right, man. They basically giving him blank checks, man. Put in what you want, man. Come run our offense, like I wish we had done. But anyway, we're moving on. Um, let's move on to our second game. We both got the Baltimore Ravens winning that game, which starts in about 4 hours or whatever. So we look forward to watching that game. So, all right, and at this thing so I can see. So at 7:15 tonight, you got the second game of the day. You got the Green Bay Packers, the upstart Green Bay Packers. They're sort of, in this Cinderella phase too, just like the Houston Texans. So they playing the Cinderella against the, the Monstars, if you want to look at it that way. Both of them are against the number one um, seeding in their respective conferences. Both coming off of inexplicable wild card wins. So you got the Packers facing the 49ers. 49ers are favored by 10. So this is a huge game. Of course, the Green Bay Packers coming off that stunning upset of my Dallas Cowboys. The thing I liked about Green Bay is, just like Houston, they're young. Jordan Love, I think this is his third year, fourth year, but only his first year starting. So, and they got a bunch of young buck wide receivers. If you go, Jordan Reed, Wicks, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, who torched us for 6 for 150, and a couple of touches, at least one touchdown at least. They got a bunch of young, hungry wide receivers that just don't realize that, hey, we're supposed to be, you know, uh, we're supposed to be nervous, and it's like they don't know what they don't know, and I think that's refreshing to see the young pups get in and not not know what they don't know, and just like, oh, what, I ain't supposed to make that play, I ain't supposed to beat this dude deep. I ain't supposed to make that throw. I'm supposed to feel the pressure of the playoffs. Jordan Love said, I don't feel no pressure. I'm just doing my thing. So they go into this game against the 49ers in Santa Clara with basically they going in there with no pressure at all, playing with house money. In my opinion, they had nothing to lose, right? The 49ers got everything to lose. Now, they, just like the Ravens, kind of didn't play their guys last week. Christian McCaffrey's coming off a calf injury, mild calf injury. They didn't play a lot of their guys last week. So essentially, they're coming off of a 2-week break. And the Packers are coming in hot, coming in smoking, coming in rhythm, coming in confident. Matt LaFleur and Kyle Shanahan are compadres. They were on the same coaching, come off the same coaching tree. And, it's like they go at each other because I was watching the game this morning, actually, when they played back in 2021. I think it was Matt LaFleur's second year at Green Bay, and Kyle Shanahan's that's the first time they met in the playoffs. And of course, the 49ers won when Green Bay was the number one seed. It was sort of like the roles were reversed. Okay. It was exactly a complete role reversal. The 49ers come in after an upset win over the Cowboys. I don't know why we're at the scene of all these upsets. And they came into Green Bay and they beat the Packers and sent them home with I think they were 13-4 or whatever they were. And so Green Bay right now today has an opportunity to do to them what was done to them back in that time. And it's going to be an interesting game because I think Green Bay's got a chance to win this, but I don't like their defense. Although they were able to put a good defensive game plan again against us last week. I don't, other than Zaire Alexander, I don't particularly like their corners. I don't particularly like their linebackers in terms of coverage and things of that nature. And the 49ers just got weapons left and right, man. On offense, you got Christian if he's 100%. You got Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, and then Brock Purdy, who's having a MVP type season. So they got weapons all up and down up and down the field. And Kyle Shanahan is a mad scientist. It's going to be a handful of things he's going to put in place today that you ain't seen before, because that's what Kyle does. So I look for Green Bay to maybe strike early, but I look for the 49ers to win late. And I think they cover it by 10 or more. I got the 49ers, but I got Green Bay making it interesting early. But I like the experience of the 49ers because they got bigger fish to fry, because I think they got a date a couple of weeks from now or 3 weeks from now at the big game. And the Green Bay Packers are merely just an irritation on their way to what their goals this year are. So what are you thinking?
This is San Francisco all the way, man. As far as I can see, I love the story around Jordan Love. Him getting his opportunity and taking advantage this year and showing, you know, he's got the stuff, he got the juice to make it work. I do, to your point, I love the young upside of their receiver group, um, and the prospect of them just getting a chance to grow with him.
Mm-hmm.
They'll grow together. And I think that's great for the future of their camaraderie. Kind of gives Jordan Love like his Greg Jennings, his Donald Driver, his Randall Cobb, so
Correct.
build with those guys. And Wicks showed me a lot last week. Dobbs, Jaden Reed is
You're right.
a young player, and of course Christian Watson is there, the wild card. So I do like what they're doing over there, but this is the juggernaut, man. You going into San Francisco tonight. No, I don't even want to mix words with a bunch of stuff. I don't actually think. I think San Francisco is going to take care of this one pretty handily. May not reflect it on the scoreboard, with all the spreads and all the bets, but I don't see it, man. No way.
You don't see it.
I think San Francisco has their sights set on
Bigger things.
yeah, and that potential rematch for some get back against them boys in Baltimore. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it, man. It's Niners all the way.
Okay. Now I will caution you, man. Anytime that's this NFL thing it always. I guess what I'm saying is anytime you think a team can't be beat, they can be beat. And that's all I'm gonna say. I don't have them winning. I don't have Green Bay winning. But I think it's always a dangerous proposition when a team has pressure on them. You got a team with a lot of confidence and they're playing with house money, so anything can happen. I just don't think the talent level with Green Bay is that they can match. Because I didn't even mention San Francisco's defense, which I think they got the best defensive line in football. If you start adding in Chase Young to Bosa to Armstead to to what's the guy they got from the Eagles? Hargrave, Jared Hargrave, to go with two of the best linebackers in the NFL with Greenlaw and Warner. And so that's why I'm saying the talent level is just different. Like I was telling you about the with the Baltimore and Texans game. There's levels to this thing. The 49ers and the Ravens have talent on top of talent on top of talent. And whereas these upstarts have sort of surface level talent with the quarterbacks and stuff, there's just layers to these teams. That's why they're number one seeds. That's why they won 13 games, both of them. There's layers to this. And I just don't know if these upstart teams can overcome those layers of personnel. That's why I'm saying that. Any team can be beat, but the layers are so thick with these two teams that unless something crazy happened, those are my two teams that are going to be meeting. And where's the Super Bowl at? Is it in
I'm not even sure.
is it in Houston? Uh, I don't know where it's in Arizona. It'll come to me in a minute. But those are my odds-on favorites to get there. But yeah, I got the 49ers, but it should be an entertaining event. It should be very entertaining, very entertaining. So we're going with the chalk. We're going with the favorites, and then we move to our Sunday games, and we have a couple of interesting games. So on let's see here. Here we go. You got at 2 o'clock on Sunday on NBC, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. And again, you got an upstart, a team that, let's face it, there are three teams in this playoffs that at the beginning of this season that are in the playoffs now that at the beginning of the season you would have thought had no chance and where of being in the playoffs. Nobody thought the Houston Texans were going to be in the playoffs. You thought they was going to win 5 wins and there'd be a nice a good starting point for D'Amico Ryans and just keep at it. You'll get it. Nobody thought they was going to be in the playoffs. Okay. Nobody thought Green Bay was going to be in the playoffs because they didn't know what you was going to get with Jordan Love. So he was like, okay, he's going to get his growing pains. He's going to get his comeuppance. And nobody thought they was going to be in the playoffs. And nobody thought Tampa Bay was going to be in the playoffs. It's Baker Mayfield, okay? Baker Mayfield on his third team in 3 years. So, nobody had them in the playoffs, right? And then last week, even though we knew Philly was in a free fall, both of us picked the Buccaneers to win. I mean, the Eagles to win, right? So, funny thing happened. They, they won going away. And so now they go into Detroit, a place that had won their first playoff game in 32 years. And as we said, and as TK and your boy Uncle Fred predicted, that was an entertaining game. Now, it didn't go 35-30, but it was 24-23. And the Rams had every opportunity to win that game. There was a good back and forth effort, and the Rams have nothing to be ashamed of. They played as well as they can, and really could have easily won that game. And it was one of the better games of the playoff slate so far. But the Detroit Lions come into this game having tasted some victory, and they now realize how good a team they are, how well they're positioned. Just like the Houston Texans, they got an offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. That's a very smart offensive coordinator. Puts all those guys in the right positions, calls the right plays, perfectly marries the run with the pass with two dynamic running backs that got skill sets that are opposite of each other with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. A plethora of wide receivers. And an offensive coordinator that they're probably not going to retain after this year. As soon as their season ends, he's probably taking a job with one of these other teams, these 6 or 7 teams. And I think it's been a nice story for Todd Bowles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting that team back to relevancy after the Tom Brady thing, and of course they're going to fall on their face after Tom Brady leaves, but there's still 4, 5, 6 dudes on that team that won a Super Bowl with them, and and they showed it last Monday. So I don't look for this one to be close, because I just think Detroit's just better. I just think they're better. I think once they got that monkey off their back, and getting that first playoff win, it's some people watching the NFL right now, man, that have been fans for a while that weren't born the last time Detroit won a playoff game. I don't think people realize how big a monkey that was on their back. That was a freaking 800-pound orangutan that was on their back. Okay, and they got that off. Now it's like they can just move freely now because they got that off their back. And now it's like Tampa Bay is just a bug on the windshield now. And like I said, Tampa Bay's played well. It's a nice season. Baker Mayfield has played himself into whether they may even retain him. They got to figure out if how they're gonna sign Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and these other guys on the team, some of these vets or whatever. But I think it all comes to an end on tomorrow afternoon. I got the Lions winning. Uh, they're favored by, I think, 6. I think it might be a little more than that. I got the Lions, man, and roaring in Ford Field and winning that game. And it's been a nice season for the Bucks. But the Lions move on to the NFC Championship game.
Super Bowl is in Vegas. So
Vegas, 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 Vegas. Appreciate that update.
Mr. Estrada informing us there. Appreciate that. I'm actually going another way with Bucks Lions. I think for one, I do think it's going to be close. Um, I do respect that defense. I love their performance last week against the Eagles team that was wounded and ready to be put out of misery. And that defense, that Super Bowl champion defense, stepped up and responded. I think sometimes that tends to be forgotten in all of this. That Tampa still has a lot of holdovers.
Mm-hmm.
Their Super Bowl year, just 2 years ago. So, um, I man, I think I'm gonna stop short of picking the Bucks, even though I think it's on the table. I just think Detroit has a lot of pressure on their shoulders because their defense, and I understand Aaron Glenn's pedigree as a former player and the success the team has been able to have collectively, but and that secondary is very, very susceptible to big plays. And one thing we know about Baker, love him, hate him, whatever, wherever you stand, he'll sling it. He'll sling it and he'll try it. And against a cornerback or defensive backfield group that can be had, and guys, big receivers like Godwin and Mike Evans, if they gets a chance, man, Mike Evans he might have a field day, in Ford Field. Um, Talking 7, 8 catches, 2 tugs type of field day because they can just be had like that. And I think the key for them is just being able to move the trenches on both sides because Vita Vea is a different type of beast in there, man. So him being able to push the middle of that offensive line back and keep.
Hang on a second, TK. Since you mentioned that, did you see Vita Vea stop the play that was unstoppable
I did.
last week? Did you not peep that?
So
I could not believe I saw that. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but when you said that pricked in my mind. They ran the tush push. Nobody can stop that. Vita Vea said, "Hold my beer. Let me show
yeah,
you how you do this."
yeah,
And that line and Kelsey couldn't move him.
yeah,
And so that, to your point, man, that Vita Vea, when he decides you're not moving him, You not moving him. And yeah, yeah. So go, but continue on with your point. I just had to bring that up because I was like that when I saw that, and I'm like, that got stopped.
Yeah,
Vita
man.
Vea's
So
a dude, man. He's a dude.
if you look at how Detroit likes to, they like to play old school. They like to run the ball with David Montgomery up the gut. They like to then change the pace, put Jameer Gibbs in and try to hit the outside edge, and then they start going over the middle, boom, 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 and they hit you over the top, and that's kind of their style, and it works for them, and they have all the talent on every level to get that done. But it's just like if Vita Vea is pushing that power, man, you're not able to establish the run like you want.
Correct, correct,
Was it
correct.
then turned into a situation where you're trying to force it down the field with Goff? And could he give one away? Because Antoine Winfield is back there. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
They got speed at linebacker. So with Devin White, and what's my guy's name? Veteran.
David, talking about
Yeah,
David,
yeah, vet.
Devontae David, and um,
So I just don't want to pick the Lions as if it's just a dead giveaway because I actually think Tampa has the format to win this game, and they actually have a battle tested guys who are way more experienced than Detroit's players. So a lot of pressure on that young team in Detroit, man. You win this, you win two home games, and you punch your ticket to the NFC Championship game. So we'll see. We'll see. I definitely think they have the right leader at the helm to keep them, steady and calm in the midst of, the pressure. But I don't want to write off Tampa because I actually think in some ways they may have the advantages here, man, as a Super Bowl winning team recently. So at the end of the day, you know where I stand. I can't pick Baker to win a game. It's not what I'm gonna do. Even though I felt strong that they could pull that upset last week, and they did. And so, shout out to them for that. But I wouldn't put it past Baker and the Bucks as a team being able to take advantage of if Detroit is a ready for this moment.
inexperienced. They're inexperienced.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's well noted. I have to, and I have to admit I didn't really consider that aspect of it. I kind of was looking at it from the standpoint that once Detroit got a win under their belt, that they kind of, now we can kind of just be who we are. We can play now. We can kind of not say relax, but we can kind of, because I think it was a lot of pressure on them to win that game last was it Saturday? Sunday night. I think there was a lot of pressure on them. The whole neighborhood was like waiting and waiting for Detroit to lose again. It's like and they was able to win that. And I think like there was a lot lifted off of them to be able to do that. And so that's the point of view I was looking at it from. And I was also looking at it from the standpoint that the Tampa Bay was a team that really nobody expected to be in the playoff. Most everybody with a brain thought that Detroit would win that division and would get in the playoffs. Maybe not a number 2 seed, but would be in the playoffs, right?
yeah,
So it's one player on that Detroit team that that's like I think he will not let them lose. And I saw that on the game last Sunday night. He would not let them lose, and that's Amon Ross St. Brown. He will not let them lose. He would not let them lose. Um, I have come to have a lot of admiration for that young man. That kid goes in and puts it in, man. Uh, and he because I mean, because he actually got to play that allowed them to kneel on it because that was a contested ball. He's like, no, you're not getting this. That's my ball. And he went in there, posted up, and it was like two dudes in the paint in basketball. So no, I'm and he boxed the guy out, caught it, and first down, and Nash victory formation, and he caught a lot of other big time throws in that game. That dude has got some moxie on him. That
Smart.
as the playoffs is going on, I started to notice that about him. And I know he made some nice catches. He caught like 106, 107 catches in the regular season. I know that too. But there's a toughness about him. It's like I know where I'm going. It's not like he runs this elaborate route tree either. It's like I'm going right here. I'm going right here, but I bet you can't stop me from getting there. That's kind of his mentality, man. And sometimes, man, you got to have a dude. I think they call them dogs. You got to have a dog like that. Like, hey, it's that 8-yard slant. The corner knows I'm running it. I'm going. He's going to be. There's going to be a collision, but I bet I come up down with the football. That's what he brings, and that's the guy that I think is not going to let them lose. And we're gonna see what happens. You're expecting a close game, and it might just be. And I'm guessing it might be. Todd Bowles still knows how to coach defense. Um,
Yeah.
you know, he still knows how to coach defense, and that's not a bad defense that he coaches. So we'll see. But I still got Detroit. I think it's going to be a little more comfortable than you do. But yeah, I think Tampa Bay could make it a game, and so we'll see what happens with that. But that's good analysis, man, because that team does have Vita Bay, White, David, Antoine Winfield, Carlton Davis. It's about five, 6 guys on that team that were on that Super Bowl team. Um, so, and
It's a,
experience is the best teacher. So,
it's a trenches battle, man. You got a lot of power on that
mm-hmm.
offensive line for
Yeah,
Detroit and their style of play, how they like to go power back.
right,
Um,
right.
and you got Vita Bear, you got Shaq Barrett, a couple other
Yeah,
guys on that, Tampa defense.
right.
It's gonna be a battle, man. And the
Then you
Kansas,
of course on the Detroit slides you got Penei Sewell and Ragnow and what's the other offensive line? They one of the better offensive lines. So it's going to be
absolutely.
a nice trench battle. You're correct. You're correct.
And
Um,
I know we didn't mention him. We usually don't, but this might be a Jamison Williams game, man. Might be a JMO game.
yeah, he's good for a nice non route that you don't expect, and it's like, oh dang, you don't realize how fast that kid is. That kid is being he's like 6'1" or 6'2", but you don't realize he's as fast as he is until he's up on you, and next thing you know he's 5 yards behind you. Ask my man Deron Bland. He's like, oh dang, I didn't know he could do that. Yeah, he can do that. He can do that.
Saw some
Shouts out to Jameson
promising,
Williams. So
saw some promising route running from him last
yeah.
game. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see them open it up a little bit for him this week.
So,
Yeah.
but 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon should be a good game. We'll see what happens. See if Detroit's gonna do what they do and and sign their ticket for the NFC Championship game. And as a matter of fact, the last time that they won a playoff game, they found themselves in the NFC Championship game. When they beat us back in 1992, they went on to the NFC Championship game where they faced the then Washington Redskins, and they were pummeled by them, and they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. So maybe they go on and do the same thing this year. So we'll see. All right. So we're down to our last game, man. I've been telling you, man, these games are starting to dwindle down. And when we come on next week, we're only going to talk about 2 games. It's going to be the championship game of the respective conferences. And this thing is winding down, man. So at 7:15 on tomorrow evening on Fox, not Fox, on CBS. I'm sorry, at 5:30. I'm sorry, it's at 5:30. You got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. And I like the packaging that the NFL does. Like they always want to. You got a lot of, like it. I hate to use a Christmas reference, but you got these little gifts that you open, but you got the big gift at under the tree that you got to get to all the preliminaries to get to the one, and they know the one to leave to be the last one that you open. And you got the Buffalo Bills playing at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, and this is going to be a first in a lot of respects. Um, in the illustrious career of who I think is the next GOAT of the NFL in Patrick Mahomes, do you know he's never played a road playoff game until
Yeah,
tomorrow?
it's cool.
Had never played a road playoff game. He's always played in the comfy, cozy. Well, except for last week, it wasn't comfy, cozy at all. In the comfy, cozy confines of G Hall, or used to be called Arrowhead Stadium. He's always been in that, and amongst those fans, amongst that, all those, familiar things that you always see. He's always been there. Today, he takes the show on the road to the Buffalo Bills. Uh, Buffalo Bills are a team that I had left for dead about 5, 6 weeks ago when they were 6-6, because they pretty much needed to win their last 5 games to get in the playoffs, and they pretty much did exactly that. Beating some good teams, beating Kansas City in G Hall, Arrowhead Stadium, beating the Dallas Cowboys, beating the Miami Dolphins. Um, I mean, beating the Jets. They and basically went on a 5 game winning streak. And then last week, with the weather and the elements, beat a kind of an outman Pittsburgh Steelers team to solidify their position in this divisional round. So here they find themselves, and what we've discovered about Buffalo this year, that they have opened up another avenue by which they can win games now. And what that's going to mean, it's going to be difficult to 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 play them now, because used to be, this is what the Buffalo Bills would do. Josh Allen would run around, run for 45 or 50 yards. They would hand it to a running back just to give him a break. They'd have 6 or 7 carries for like 15 yards. And then he'd sling it down the field to Gabe Davis, sling it down to Isaiah McKenzie, sling it around to Stephon Diggs, maybe a few to the tight ends, and he would make 5 or 6 spectacular runs and plays, and they'd win games. Somewhere about midway down the season, maybe the game they beat us back in like mid-December, they found them a running game. They found James Cook, who ended up running for almost 1,200 yards. And so now it's like you can't key on Josh Allen now, because he could just pitch that thing to James Cook and he can get you 7 or 8 yards. And then if you put too much attention to that, Josh Allen could take off and run with it. Like he had a 50-yard run last week against the Steelers. Uh, and he can still throw it to Gabe Davis is not playing today. Incidentally, that word came down yesterday. He's a scratch for today, and that's going to be. But they got a guy named Shakur. I think it's Shakur. That's a good slot receiver. That I guess he can slide in. And they got a best pair of young tight ends in the game, and Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. Um, they're playing at home. Bills Mafia is going to be in force. Y'all know I love me some Kansas City. I love the Cowboys, but as an individual player, everybody knows I'm a Patrick Mahomes guy. I just think he's just special. I think it's just things he can do that nobody can do. But I think they've asked him to do way too much this year. I think his wide receivers, in many regards, has let him down this year. Have not come up with plays this year for him, and have made Patrick Mahomes. In times past, he could be Houdini on like maybe one play every other drive. He could be Houdini and come up with a play, come up with a 15, 20-yard run, come up with an off-script throw when the play is broken down. Um, with the lack of playmakers in his skill position group this year, he's finding himself having to do that almost every possession, and I think it's proven to be too much to do. And as great a player as he is, I still think you got to have help. You got to have. It's still a team game. You got to have help. And even as great as he is, he can't do it by himself. And I think Josh Allen has more help than him for the first time. There is no Tyreek Hill on this team. There's not even a Juju Smith-Schuster on this team. Um, Now there are some young guys on this team that I think in a year or two going to be household names, like a Rashee Rice. I think he's going to be a guy in this league once he figures some things out. He's got good speed, got good hands. He's put some on the turf a couple times, but young receivers will do that from time to time, right? And you got Kelsey, but Kelsey can't catch 15 passes a game, and Kelsey's like 35. So if I'm building this up and you're looking at this and say, Uncle Fred's thinking the Kansas City Chiefs might lose today or tomorrow. Well, if you're thinking that's where I'm going, but then you got your GPSs on lock because that's exactly where I think it's going. I think Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes has carried them to 11 wins this season. And I think they won the game last week, and I think the elements won that game for them because I think the Miami Dolphins were beat as soon as they stepped off of that plane and it was 30 degrees below zero. I think they lost that game as soon as they stepped off that plane. Okay. Now they're playing against a team that kind of stuff don't phase them. 20 degrees and it's 15 degrees or 5 degrees and 7 or 8 feet of snow or whatever. Don't phase them. You know, Buffalo's just playing good football right now, and I just think that this is the time, this is the place that they finally get the Mahomes thing off their back. I watched the 2021-22 game the other day, a game that'll always be in Buffalo Bills infamy. How you'd have a 36-33 game with 13 seconds left, and everybody's hugging each other, and then you don't win that game. Uh, and I think this game right here will be a sort of a satisfaction game for the Bills. Uh, Now, I will be pulling for the Chiefs, but my football tells me that it's the Bills' time. It's their time, and the Bills win tomorrow. I got the Bills, but the Bills are actually favored by 3, which is basically saying it's a toss up because you get 3 wins, you get 3 points as a home uh, team. So I got the Bills. Bills Mafia will be in force. I got the Bills.
Yeah, man. The thing is, we all know how special Pat is. Patty's a wizard. Um, this time around, there's never been a better opportunity for Buffalo. Um, the cards are aligned in this one. I know some people may say in 2021 they, better team, all of that. And I get it. I'm not here to do the semantics on that, but in my opinion, I feel like the best opportunity is now. Buffalo's rolling. They're at home. Um, Despite some of the injuries they've had, they've been able to endure and overcome them. Uh, the Chiefs they're not the same juggernaut. That's not the same juggernaut that's coming into Buffalo, tomorrow. That's not the same team, man. This is the opportunity for Josh Allen to finally punch up and be successful. And I know he feels within himself that he's on the level of Mahomes, and This is his chance to do it. So it's like, despite Mahomes' wizardry, man, you're gonna get your best shot from these Bills tomorrow. You're gonna get Josh Allen playing like a maniac. It's gonna be the biggest fight they have. Is gonna be that tomorrow. And so, do I think Pat can match that energy? Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And I think he will be unfazed. It's just, does Pat have the tools
Right.
to get it done?
Right.
And mm, this is the most interesting game of the week to me because it is a toss up. I just, in one way, I think, like I already said, Buffalo's gonna give their best possible shot. Like they're gonna empty the tank. All the punches they have to throw, they're getting thrown. You know, they going for broke, man, because this is the team they have to psychologically get over the hump with, and not just in the regular season. They
And
count.
beat them in the regular season. Have not been able to beat them in the playoffs.
This is what
This
they
is
have
it.
to do. So this is it for them. Pat, it's not to say that Pat would rest on his laurels at all, but Pat, he's chipped up. He's accomplished up.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
what Josh Allen needs to do to solidify himself, he knows it starts tomorrow. You
Yeah.
got to win that game.
Right.
Um, for those reasons, man, I'm still picking Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I ain't betting on against Pat, man. I figured you like the setup and all of that,
Man.
the curve and go the other way, man. I'm not picking against that. With that.
Not gonna happen, man. Not gonna happen. And you set me up good with that one, man. Yeah, you got me. You got me on that one, man. You got me, man. You got me going one way. You came back with the. You came back in motion on that one, man. You got me on that one. Um, he. We gonna see, man. Look, this might be the first time. This is why. This is why I'm picking the Bills. Now I rolls with Pat. This might be the first time they roll into the playoffs and Pat looks at his squad. He looks across over at Josh's squad and be like, dang, your squad better than mine. This might be the first time that his squad is actually better than Pat's.
But because I think it's twofold. I think skill position wise, I would agree with you. But I think he looks at his defense and says, I think you guys can hold them to 17. So if I can get to 20, we can walk out of here with a win. I
Okay.
think he thinks that. So I agree with you. I
Yeah.
just think it's only applied to the skill position.
Okay.
He looks at his defense and says, you guys are superior, and I think you can come in here and neutralize Stephon Diggs, for one, and
With
then load up.
with Trent McDuffie, who's a underrated corner in this league, very good corner in this
So
league.
'cause that's the thing. Take your
Um,
pick. Because if you want to
Darius Sneed
try
on
him
the other
on
side.
McDuffie, or do you want to run him over to the other side with Snead? Either way, I
Right.
think
Right.
Kansas City likes their chances with that. And
Yeah.
so I just think they feel, in my assumption, in that building with KC, this is a game we're going to go in and win 20-17, 23-20. This is the type of game where we're going to make the stops when we absolutely have to have them, and we're going to trust 15 to do what he does best, and come in here and rip the heart out of Bills Mafia. And
Okay.
I think Mahomes is just Michael Jordan sinister enough to go walk up in Buffalo tomorrow and do exactly that. So I'm leading on maniac Mahomes, man, pulling on pulling on Mike Jordan, man. I
Okay,
gotta I
okay.
gotta go with
You going with the little baby goat? Okay,
yeah,
I'm not. You
I
know,
got
I'm not mad at that. You know, I'm not mad at that. Um, I just think I know, and you make a good point. The Chiefs are probably when you start looking at the Browns and the Ravens, I would say and you may even throw the 49ers in there. The Chiefs defense is right up in there with them.
yeah,
When you start looking at how well Chris Jones has played, and what's the guy's name? Garofalis. I know he played at Purdue. I can't even pronounce his last name. Nick Bolton. Yeah. What you just said. Nick Bolton,
yeah.
and then those corners that they have. Like I said, Trent McDuffie is a damn good corner, man. Um,
Yes, and Snead had a really
um,
good year.
and now here's where I think Buffalo can win. Those I think that they have learned how to be a good running football team, man. And their offensive line seems to run block very well. And I've seen the Chiefs get gashed on the run game quite a bit. I've seen the Raiders do it.
Mhm.
I've seen the Packers do it. And I've seen teams do it. Now that's going to be the secret sauce. If they can get James Cook, get him 85 to 100 yards, that's how I think they're. And then of course you mix that in a few Josh Allen runs, and a couple of
I,
his spectacular. You didn't think he could do that plays. That's where I think they can get him. You
I
know.
actually think that's where most of that production is going to come from
Okay.
Josh Allen, because I think Josh Allen is. I think you're about to get an epic effort from Josh Allen tomorrow.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, and this is with the understanding that I think it was the 2021 game where he refused to lose. I think that was the 2021 game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the effort is going to be on par with that tomorrow. So I'm going with Mahomes and staying firm on it, but so I'm not saying this as if I'm hedging because I'm not.
No, you
But
wouldn't do
I just think I just think Josh, man, Josh is gonna go for broke. I know I said that earlier, but that's what it is. He's gonna put everything out there, man. He is because he knows this is the game he has to win. It's a legacy game.
that.
But
Yeah.
I just think the quiet arrogance of Mahomes is like it's a legacy game for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk in here and treat this like another day at the office for me.
Right. 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 A couple of injury notes, just while we, just for record keeping here. The Chiefs, they got, let's see, questionable. Oh, Willie Gage questionable. Kadarius Toney is out. That's one less weapon he's gonna have. Um, Justin Ross is questionable. Wanye Morris, offensive tackle, he's out. Still on tour, I guess. Um, and so you got on Buffalo. Now, in that Steelers game, it was a couple of their secondary guys that went down. They had a couple of significant injuries in that Steelers game. I want to say Christian Benford, one of their corners, is out. Another guy, Spector, is out. And of course, they got their two safeties, but one of them sort of got dinged up with Hod and Poyer. One of them got dinged. I can't remember which one of them it was. They're not listed on the report, so they are going to be sort of vulnerable in that regard. So just for record keeping, just to let know who's doing what. But I will say this to the Buffalo Bills: I'm picking them. If you take a shot at the Don, you better hit. You better not miss.
You best not miss.
You best not miss.
Yeah.
If you take a shot at the Don, you best not miss. That's all I'm gonna say with that. You best not miss. And
Hold
going
on,
back to
real
the
quick.
game, I'm
Wanna?
sorry. Go ahead.
No. I just 23 day low. What's up? What's up?
Oh,
Um, Mr. Roland Estrada is definitely on board with you. Um, so you got somebody in your corner for the pick.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
that's what's
23 D.
up.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Appreciate you watching the stream. I've kind of been pumping our pick'em show on my regular rant stuff and whatever and everything. So and I trying to tell people it's basically like it's sort of like a barbershop talk. That's what it is. We talking games. We two dudes in the barbershop waiting to get our hair cut, and we just striking up a conversation about the games based on our barbershop intuition. And that's what we kind of trying to do or whatever. And of course, I ain't got no hair to get cut now, but we still bring that same energy. So that's what we've been trying to do. But going back to that game, we're getting ready to close the video, and we thank everybody for joining in with us. It's been quite a handful of people on the line on the stream with us, man, and we appreciate that. We really do. I was watching that game yesterday. The Chiefs Bills game from the 2022 divisional round. And I think Josh Allen, the last time Josh Allen touched the ball in that game, they were 33 up. He just hit Gabe Davis with a seam route touchdown pass. And he and all the guys was hugging each other. Everybody in the Bills box was hugging each other. And it was just a special moment. And he never touched the ball again. Patrick Mahomes went like 19 yards to Kelsey, which I still don't understand how you just left him uncovered, him run right down the seam of the defense with nobody covering him, and then he went like 20 yards to Tyreek timeout, and they kicked like a 54-yard field goal to force overtime. They won the coin toss.
Boom,
Never
boom,
never saw the ball again.
boom.
That's the craziest thing. You never saw the football again. It's like how you go from like you crying, everybody's like, man, you like, I'm gonna call all my people. Like, man, look at this. This is so amazing. It's like, and when he's seeing that first completion, you see this mouth come like, uh-oh, this ain't good. They almost in field goal range. And oh, dang, they kicked the field. Damn, we gotta go to overtime. And we lost the toss. And I don't even get a chance to even sniff the football. And
Mahomes like that, man. So
that's
yeah, yeah.
I sat there and I was like, dang, that's got to sting. So yeah. Uh 23 dealer said Mahomes has given us no reason to pick against him in the playoffs. I'm not picking against him at all. It's just my feeling is he's having to do way too much in order to secure wins. Um, he's almost like, he got to pull a spectacular play on almost on every drive now. And I just think that's at the end, I just think that takes too much out of you. At the end of the day, this isn't basketball where you can just go, hey, y'all clear out. I'm going one-on-one with this guy. Football is not really designed that way. So he can do that for a spell, but they're making him do that like almost every play, every third play now. He's almost having to do that. And I just think it's too much. Now, if he wins it, I'm like, cool, do your thing. Do your thing, young goat. Do your thing. But I just feel like, you know, uh, Travis Kelsey has to be double teamed. Double teamed? How about triple teamed? Because he's really the only reliable guy that he can throw it to.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think teams have been doing a really good job of late, probably last 5 or 6 weeks of bracketing him.
bracketing him, right, right,
Just,
right. Because
just
they know that's where he's going. I
yeah.
mean, you know,
So teams are really trying to force Rasheed Rice to step up and go in and take that single coverage and be a dog. And
yeah,
I think he's gonna find some success tomorrow. But I think when it matters, Mahomes gonna look for his guy. So it's just something to figure out.
yeah,
I'll figure out how to get Travis in those positions when it matters the most. 'Cause I think
right.
we all know that's where he's going. So
Where he's going. That's his that's his security blanket. Um, but Travis will tell you himself, he probably hadn't had his best season this year either. He's had a number of drops. You know, he's fumbled the ball in key situations. That Eagles game, they got a touchdown going in and drops the football or whatever. So, um, and like you mentioned on one of our prep shows several months ago, people ain't realizing Travis Kelce is almost 35 years old. It's not like he's some spring chicken. It's not like he's Dalton Kincaid, second year, first year in the league, or Dawson Knox, third or fourth year in the league. This dude been in the league a while now. And, you can't really expect him to do, football is a young man's game. Um, it just is. And, but I mean, look, if they win tomorrow, I'm not going to be upset. Sometimes I make picks. Remember, I made a pick last week. I picked the Cleveland Browns. I know that pick looks very dubious right now. But I thought the playoff experience and their defense was going to wreak havoc on them. But I said, I hope Houston wins it because I like their team. I was happy to be wrong. All right. This week on this, I'm picking Buffalo because I just think they have a better team. I just think that, they have more ways that they can win the games now than they used to. But I would be happy if the Chiefs won. You know, I just like seeing Mahomes make magic. That's just, he's one of my favorite players to watch in the league. Um,
I think
so
either way, though,
I
man.
like watching him play. I like watching him play.
Yeah, I agree. I think either way, man, we as football fans, we win, man, because one of those guys is going to Baltimore next week, and that's going to be a fun game, no matter
Yeah.
which guy it is. So,
Right.
man,
Right.
I think
It's going to either be Josh Allen going into whatever that stadium is called in Baltimore playing the Ravens if they win today,
mhm.
or it's going to be Patrick Mahomes going in because Patrick and Lamar have had their battles. Them battles been epic too. Uh,
See,
uh, is it supposed to snow? I'm not sure, but I feel like if it's January in Buffalo, snow is kind of on the menu.
yeah,
As to how much, I don't know. Um, One way to find out. Find out right here. But that's always going to be on the menu in January. Last week they was actually paying. Now this is what was said. Now I don't know how true it was that they was actually paying people $20 an hour to help them shovel the snow. People was in line with their shovels, but you got to bring your own shovel.
well, whoever did it, man, they did a great job. 'Cause it
And
was
it did.
yeah, they cleared that
It did.
field.
I did have a thing where you could check what the weather was. I'm trying to see it here. Yeah, here it is. Game time is going to be 20 degrees. Not really saying if it's going to be snow or not, but I'm sure it's snow already on the ground. I'm pretty darn sure that there's snow already on the ground. It's just a matter of whether or not it's going to be. Okay, it says wintercast is 4 to 8 inches. That was Thursday. Let's see, Sunday. Let's see, Saturday, Sunday. Uh, Mainly cloudy, not as cold. Uh, okay, it's gonna feel like 16 degrees. Doesn't say anything about snow. Oh, okay, here it is. A coating of an inch. Yeah, that's okay. It's gonna be some snow. I don't think it's gonna be blizzard conditions, but like I said, I'm sure it's already snow on the ground, and it's not gonna be cold enough for it to go anywhere. I mean, warm enough for it to go anywhere. So, just a matter of any additionals. But then, like I said, Kansas City just played in the game where it was like minus 29, so they're not gonna be phased by it, and Buffalo not gonna be phased by it. So they're mentally tough to that kind of weather environment and the weather conditions. So. Um, I don't think that's going to be a factor at all. But if it is snow on the ground, it makes for a fun game to watch. Not fun to play in, I'm sure. Watching the guys slide up and down the field and stuff like that, man, that's sort of interesting. So our picks are in. Um, what's his name? Estrada has made some points about Mahomes making the same money as Dak Prescott. I know that's always a thing with Cowboy fans. The money that Dak Prescott makes, But actually, he don't make what Patrick Mahomes make. Patrick Mahomes makes about $50 million a year. Dak makes about 40, but Dak probably laps him in commercial endorsements because who's he play for? You know,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Dak's on a lot of commercials, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I
A
know part
lot
of
of
that.
commercials.
I think that State Farm deal he got.
State Farm, Dak's in Lowe's. He's in Direct TV, Sleep Number. Gosh, a couple more he's in, man. He's in a bunch of commercials, man.
Yeah, I ain't. Yeah,
You know, now, and that's always the thing. But because he plays for the Cowboys, now if he was playing for the Chiefs, he wouldn't have that. You know, because the Chiefs don't have the cachet that the Cowboys have. They have it to a certain degree because they're winning. They're winning. They're winning, and that's
yet,
always what I've always said about
yet.
if you could win with the Cowboys, you could lap the field. You could do both things. You don't have to do one thing and leave the other one at the starting block. You could do both things, but we only choose to do one thing. We only choose to, you know, bring about we bring about the Taylor Swift aspect of the game. Okay, because the Chiefs get a lot of eyeballs on them now because Taylor Swift's at the games. Okay, and I bet you the Chiefs would wish that she wasn't at the games because they don't like the distractions. The Cowboys want the distractions. I think it was a joke, TK. It was mentioned that somebody said that Jerry even came to one of his players and said, "Hey, ain't there a A-list star or some starlet or something one of y'all could date so we can get some extra buzz?" I don't know if he actually said that or not.
Probably not. It's funny though.
But I wouldn't put it past him. Anything to get his name in the paper, he's with that. And I'm telling you, the Chiefs don't like it because they're about winning. They're not about the distractions. They're trying to win football games. And if you win football games, you know what? The notoriety comes. They talk about you when you win. They don't talk about you. So what they talk about with us now is about the ineptness that we seem to suffer when we're in the playoffs. They laugh and joke and giggle about us. That's not fun as a Cowboy fan. And it can't be fun as a Cowboy player. Can't be. It can't be fun. So those are the things I'm talking about. But I'm not gonna hijack this and make this a Cowboy.
It's going there. It's going there.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I can always talk about the Cowboys at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, man.
Because they're just the Cowboys. They can be talked about. But right now, I'm kind of on the people of Estrada's been on my channel before. Long time Niner fans been on my feeds before. I'm sort of a soft boycott. I ain't wearing no Cowboy stuff. I'm wearing my stuff because I think we got at some point the fans have to make it some sort of a grassroots things like, dude, we're not taking what you're giving us. You're not fixing to warm up last week's dinner and hand it back to us and like it's a new meal. You're not doing that to us. And at some point, we gotta like stop accepting that. And that's all I'm saying. But
We got a Lions fan here. What's up, man? Joseph. Shout out to the Lions, man. I hope I'm wrong about
Lions
that.
fan here. Yeah.
I think
The Lions going to the NFC Championship game, man. I think they're doing. Jerry is a sad man. Cowboys a joke. Yeah, it's they've become like the punchline to stuff, man. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. Not supposed to be like that. You want to go into the thing where you taken seriously, and you walk into a thing and they say, okay, who are your contenders, and you put their names down and people laugh. It's not supposed to be that way. It's like, oh, y'all ain't gonna contend because y'all gonna soil your pants as soon as the playoffs go start. If it's not your quarterback, it's your coaches. You call plays that aren't gonna work. You get conservative. You get tight. Everybody gets tight. You know, and that's what happens, man. Uh, there's no reason the Cowboys shouldn't have a Super Bowl appearance by now. No, of course not. And you got nine uh, All Pro nods. Now we know those things are publicity things and popularity reports and stuff like that. We get all that, but you know, if you got nine All Pros on your team, you can't go out. You can't go out the first game of the playoffs. You know, you just can't.
I watched that thing on TV, man. I read
Dallas
something about
loves the drama. Yeah, Dallas does love the drama.
Detroit
I
too.
read to them what this reporter had said that the Cowboys are a TV reality show. That's what they become, and I've been pushing like crazy to against that to not let it get to that. But it's like I can only do so much. I can only do so much. But it's getting drugged down that alleyway, and you can't stop it once it's like it's like being sucked into a vortex. It's like it's become a reality show. And the guy said it just like I did. He said the Cowboys have become the Kardashians, and Jerry Jones is Kim. He's the head Kardashian. He's I said it in a retort to a guy on a stream, and then a guy made the report. I didn't even see the report. He said the same thing I said, so we was on the same sheet of music, and it just can't be. No, I don't have any news on Trayvon Diggs' knee rehab. Do I want Quinn back? Um, no, from the simple fact that we got to find a different way of playing defense. Niners fan, we got to find a different way of playing defense because running out 6 and 7 defensive backs is not and putting out a safety at linebacker is just not. It's just not. It's cute when we first rolled it out. Until teams figured out, oh shoot, we can just run the football on that and get 8 yards every time they run the football, and they just started doing that to us. And it was cute. It was cute when they ran Marquise Bell out there at 205 pounds. And you fixing to field a hole on run. That was cute until we saw the Bills. It was cute until they ran for 266 on us, and then the teams found, oh shoot, we can just run on them. Especially when we get down on the goal line, we have no big defensive packages. So whereas I think Dan Quinn is a quality defensive coordinator, I think his schemes have been figured out. Unless he comes and say, hey, I'm going to scrap this whole thing and do something totally different. No, I don't necessarily want him back if for no other reason that somebody has to get changed out. Either you're going to get rid of the coach, the quarterback, or the DC. You couldn't keep all three. And if he don't get a head coaching job of one of these many head coaching jobs are available, he's going to be back. Like it or not, Cowboy fans, he's going to be right back as the DC with his hat turned backwards up in the coach's box. That's what's getting ready to happen. So, I feel like all of them going to be there. I don't think. I mean, unless they don't keep Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith is a he's like on a year-to-year thing. I feel like Tyler Smith is going to be an All-Pro. I think he's probably the best, probably the 2 or 3 best guards in the game. I think Tyler Smith can be as good as he wants to be. Zach Martin, I think he's on the down slope, but I still think he's good. I don't know if he'll be an All-Pro next year. And then on defense, Dak, I don't know if he'll be an All-Pro next year. It just all depends what kind of offense they're trying to trot out there. CD, I think he's going to be an All-Pro. Defensively, I think Micah's going to be one. Diggs probably is going to be one, but it depends on how well he recovers because ACL injuries aren't all the same. So I don't know. But I think most of our All-Pros should be there. Bland, maybe not, because I can't see you having 2 All-Pro corners with as many corners as there are in the league. And I'll just talk to you about Trent McDuffie and Zadarius Sneed for the Chiefs, and uh, uh, Tre'Davious Ward that plays for the 49ers. There's a bunch of good corners out there. Sauce Gardner, and there's a bunch of it. So I just don't know how one team could have two All Pros. So one of those two won't be. So we'll just see how that goes. You know I'm a Bama fan too, so do you 223 D-Lo. I think he's putting together a nice staff. It's alarming at all the guys that are leaving the program. I was hurt to see Caleb Downs go to Ohio State. That kind of stung me a little bit because Nick Saban had just gave him like the vote of confidence of how good that kid could be, and I thought maybe at least kind of see what this guy got to offer. I mean, you just a freshman. You could have played a year and seen and then transfer next year. You didn't have to transfer right now, but whatever. I don't know. I think he'll do well because I think he's got a good, and I think he's going to lean into Nick Saban as to put processes and stuff in place because he knows the landscape and the area because he's in an area in the southeastern part of the United States where Nick is king. He's from the northwestern part of the United States. It's sort of a different animal. If he leans on Nick Saban, who's made himself available to him, I think he'll do well. Now, whether or not we'll be 13-1 next year or 12-1 next year, I'm not going to say that. I think we could easily win 10 games, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. Yeah, Jared and Brain Trust knew they were light with the linebackers. They knew, and they chose to do nothing. Okay. And one of my videos, and I'm getting ready to close the video because I think TK's already signed off. I think he may have had something going on. One of my videos I was talking about when they released what's the kid's name from golly, me and names. Released the kid that they picked up from the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons. He played at Alabama. I can't think of his name right now. And I thought that I think he may have went to may had something he had to do, whatever. I knew he wasn't gonna be able to be. That's why we're on early because I think he has some stuff to do, but I don't think he's gone. What's the guy's name? Rashad Evans. I think that they could have used him in some of these in the playoff game because the brain trust will have you believe the dude wasn't good. But I'm like, the dude had 160 tackles last year when he played for the Falcons. You don't wake up one day and can't play. It's like, but I've always said that the Cowboys have an allergic reaction to sort of speak to outside players. They don't like to employ outside players, especially when they can be stars or when they can be difference makers. They'll put a guy in there to plug a hole, like a Brandon Cooks or a Jaron Curse or a what's the big fella's name in the middle? Like that guy they got from the Raiders, the big fella, Hankins. They'll do something like that. But in terms of getting a real difference maker, they kind of shy away from doing that. So I think Evans could have been a guy that they could use because he's 240, 250 pounds. And he could have went in there and been, because they ran the ball. The Packers ran the ball down our throats, man. And so, that was, you running a 205-pound guy at linebacker, man. So it's just what it is. But anyhow, we're gonna see what happens with that. But that's all we got today, man. I'm gonna go ahead and slide on off of here. I guess TK is gone. I know he's gonna have to. He had to be on early today, and I think he has some other things going on today. And I'm gonna try to venture out in the snow and see what's going on. Oh, he's back! Oh my God, he's back! He's back! It was asking.
I'm getting ready to bounce, but yeah, man.
Yeah, they was asking about you, man. They was asking about you. They was like, "What happened to your dude, man?" I'm like,
shout out to them, man. I was listening though. Man, I know they lost 5-star Julian Sand, the incoming quarterback.
Yeah, that was surprising too. Like, dude, you just get here, give it a shot, man. You know.
But hey, man, I don't know what you got to do, but get on the phone, man, because Arch Manning shouldn't be riding the bench this year. So
Well, Bama was one of the places that he was really looking at, man. I think Bama and Georgia, and he settled on Tennessee. I mean Texas. I'm sorry.
Texas.
So yeah, get on the phone, man, and Quinn Ewers decided he's gonna come on back, man, because he really could go for the draft right now, couldn't he? He could have went for the draft, right?
Well, he could have, but he's coming back. So
Right.
yeah,
That's
man.
another year of eligibility that Arch, will. I mean, I guess they could redshirt him another year. I mean, there's ways you can do it, but I mean, why would you want to do that though? You don't want to come into the league at 24 years old, 23 years old. You want to come in. That's kind of what happens when you start using up all these years of eligibility, man, and 5 and 6 years of eligibility. You come into the league, you 24, 25 years old, like Michael Penix is going to be like 24, 25 years old coming into the league. Or like Hendon Herndon was this year, coming into the league at 20 years old, 20 something years old. Oh, there's guys getting their second contracts that are younger than him.
Nah, man, I just think, Arch Manning can't sit 2 years in a row.
No,
So,
no.
hey, man, you'd rather be playing at Bama than sitting behind Quinn Ewers. So,
Right. Oh, without a doubt, man. Somehow we got to stop the hemorrhaging, man. Every time I pick up the paper, man, it's another 4-star, 5-star player, whether it's Caleb Downs or it's Sands, it's leaving us. And I was like, I thought, man, dang, give him a shot, man, because you still got years of eligibility left.
I thought the big loss was
Downs,
fella. Well, of course, losing Caleb Downs is tough, but
Ryan Williams.
a big fella, man, the offensive lineman.
Oh, you're talking about it's not Latham. It's not Latham. What's his
Proctor.
Proctor, yeah, J.C. Proctor, yeah.
They lost
Big 350-pound dudes on fall off trees, man.
That was
They
tough
just don't.
one.
That was huge. That's huge. And every time, like I said, every time I pick up the paper, it's somebody else leaving via the transfer portal. I'm like, this, somehow we got to stop. We got to stop the hemorrhaging, man, because we're hemorrhaging right now. You know, get a guy a chance, man, because the guy obviously knows how to coach. Give him a shot, man. Let's see what we can do. And if it, hey, he don't know what he's doing, and you can always transfer. You can always transfer next year. I don't know. We gotta figure it out, man. We gotta figure it out. But anyway, we done kind of covered everything. We done talked about Cowboys, college football, talked about our picks, man. We kind of on all everything sports channel, man. We try to do it all. Well, shoot, we can even do NBA if you want to, man. We know our NBA. I seen
we had a big trade this week.
I seen Siakam end up going to the Indiana Pacers. The Warriors are supposed to get him, but I guess they didn't come up with a good enough package that the Pacers came up with. So
maybe he didn't want to play there.
Maybe he didn't want to play there. That's just what it is. Maybe he didn't want to play there. But I saw that finals preview, the Mavericks and not the Mavericks, but the Nuggets and the Celtics last night, man. I saw that finals preview. 1 point game, too, man. 2 point game, too, man. That's how it's supposed to be. I see that finals preview. The Laker fan, you ain't trying to hear that. Like, no, man, we in this thing, too.
I'm not trying to hear that.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Yeah. Well, that was a good game, and then
technical problems. So
yeah.
We're not in that conversation anyway right now.
Yeah, well, it's still early. It's still trades to be made, so we'll see. We still Zach LaVine's still out there, and my man from the Hawks is still there. What's his name? He hit the big shot last night. He hit shots in two big games. So
showcasing himself.
Yeah, getting that trade stock up, man. Getting it up there, man. Look how clutch I am. So But anyway, man, we gonna go and jump on off here. We're just letting everybody know we got a wide palette of sports topics that we can always hit if you're on here. If you want to go NBA, we can talk NBA. If you want to go NFL, we can talk NFL. You want to talk Cowboys, we can talk Cowboys. You go NBA, we can talk Lakers, we can talk Lakers, we can talk Warriors, we can talk Celtics, we can talk like that stuff. We can talk
Well,
college football. We know that stuff, man.
Roland, man, I thought Siakam was y'all guy to get. I had Siakam. I had Siakam to Dallas, man. I just thought that was a perfect
You
acquisition.
thought Pascal was gonna go and be the number three in Dallas behind
Yeah.
Luca and Kyrie. Can you say we talked about that on our pre-show last week? He's a number three. Siakam is like a number three player, and he would have been a number two in Golden State, and it's like maybe
I
too
just
much for
think,
him.
I mean, maybe he's a two. I just think more so than that, just the skill set. Like
Yeah, of
his skill set playing next to Luca was just, I just thought it was perfect, man. So,
course, of course.
granted, he did end up going to another team that I think he's gonna fit really well playing next to Hallie.
Indiana's gonna scare some folks, man.
They
Uh,
definitely gonna beat somebody they're not supposed to. They
they're
got,
gonna beat somebody they're not supposed to. You are correct.
yeah.
Because Halliburton is Halliburton is all that if he don't get his teeth knocked out beforehand. Um, he gonna rub somebody the wrong way. I'm telling you, he gonna do that. But he's good though. He's good.
But
Benedict, Benedict Mathurin is because he played last. They lost last night though. But it's Pascal and you still got Turner, Miles Turner. I mean they and then you got Rick Carlisle that can coach, a former Mavericks coach. So yeah.
yeah, man, I think it's tough, man, because OG Ananobi and Pascal went other places, and I thought both of those guys would be perfect for Dallas.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
somebody that may, now that you got Lively in the middle, man, it's like you need a wing. You just need some type of wing. I did see something about Andrew Wiggins going there.
Andrew Wiggins going to the Mavericks.
I'm Dallas. I don't
Okay.
know
I don't
that.
know. Not an Andrew Wiggins fan right about now, man. He's kind of lost me a little bit in the last year and a half, but whatever, man. It's what it is, man. It's what it is.
Yeah, I just think for Dallas, if they can find that wing, man, they can find them a good solid wing.
Mm-hmm.
Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, but you need to find him a wing with a solid jump shot, man. His jump shot not solid enough. Not it's not good enough to me, and he don't go to the hole as well as he should. He, you know,
I'll tell you this, Roland, the perfect guy for Dallas now, outside of Siakam, Laurie Marketing. I don't know what they'd have to do to get him.
out of Utah.
You
Yeah,
could put Laurie next to Derek Lively and Luca.
boy, marketing, huh?
I think
Okay,
I think
okay,
Laurie,
okay.
'cause Laurie's already vastly underrated, but I
Yeah.
think he was
Oh yeah.
put with Luca and being able to space the floor when Luca goes into that high screen with Lively.
Yeah.
I think that would do wonders for Dallas, man. So again, I don't know what Dallas would have to do to get that guy because I don't think Utah would easily.
Wouldn't he be like a younger? Wouldn't he be like a younger Kleber?
No, because
Because
he's way
Kleber spaces the floor too.
here, but he's miles better than Cleveland.
Yeah.
So if you mean like a 10 times more talented Cleveland,
Oh, he's talented. I'm just saying he's younger too, younger and more athletic and all that stuff too. But I'm
yeah,
just
I think Markkinen and Luka would be pretty deadly if they could make it happen, especially with Lively in the middle and Lively's contributing now. He's yeah, he's right out the gate. So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to answer because I saw it right there. So, shout out to Roland Estrada.
shout out Roland. Appreciate you watching the video. Well, that wraps it up, man. Like I said, I think we done covered everything, man. We done covered picks, Cowboys, college football, NBA. You know, we done covered it all, man. And I know you got things to do today. I'm gonna try to venture out in this snow and see what's going on and see if I can, because I ain't been to work all week. All week, you know, 5-day week. I didn't work a day this week. Been at home. About to lose my freaking mind, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna try to jump off of here, but like, comment, subscribe, become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Um, Once again, you won't be disappointed. For TK, I am Uncle Fred, Uncle Fred Rants. Any parting shots, TK?
No, man. As far as I know, Uncle Fred is going to keep giving y'all the good content throughout the week. But to answer that question, next time for me will be next Saturday, right back here, probably same time, same
Right
place.
back here, man, for the NFC and the AFC championship games. And we're gonna pick those too, and then we're gonna give some analysis on that too. So back with us next week, and I don't know what I'm gonna talk about next week on my show. I don't know. We'll talk about something because it's the off season now for the Cowboys, so it's not really we didn't bemoan to get the loss for a week now. Now you got to start talking about off season prep, draft and free agents and this kind of thing, and so that stuff don't make for exciting videos, but I'll come up with something. So tune in next week for some surprises. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Signing off. Catch you guys on the next video. God bless.